play, and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's
Good Morning Bay.
Good morning, Bay. आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
Namaskar.
वनकम,
Namaskara.
खुशामदीद,
Assalamualaikum.
सत श्री अकाल,
మీకు అందరికీ వందనము.
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण.
जय जिनेंद्र,
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोलते हैं क्या अली मदद.
मौलाली मदद बोलते हुए सारे फीजी बदले बोलेंगे नीसा बोला बरजान. हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा. मैं से फालतू बाबा.
And of course, myself, Faltu Rani, लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time that's going to make it totally exciting and totally mastani band jane.
To the Banjan, a quick look at what's happening on the roads. Aapke liye Banjan, because the weather outside looks kind of cloudy, right? But don't worry, there's not going to be rain right now. But let's see what's happening with the roads, Banjan. रास्ते का हाल लीजिएगा आप. हम लोग पेश करेंगे आपके लिए Banjan. Totally सस्ते में, like no other Banjan. Yeah, I know some of you actually getting back. Companies are going to have their employees back in the offices. Let's see what happens there. But abhi ke liye, there is some traffic on the road which I want to talk about. Here you go.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Well, Banjan, the good news is not many incidents of accidents to report everywhere, Banjan, except for one place in San Jose. It's actually a collision on 880 northbound. Near North Bascom Avenue, Banjan, in San Jose. The right lane is blocked over there, but it's not majorly impacting traffic. But traffic is sluggish in some part of the Bay Area, Banjan, like in San Francisco, for the matter, in the on the bridges, and also in the Hayward area, some kind of slow traffic in that region, and not to mention Berkeley. For some reason, Berkeley is really bad since morning. Ever since the morning when I came, I checked here, Banjan, it's been pretty bad though there in traffic. God knows why, but there's no mention of any incidents in that region, so that's the that's a report for you guys of what's happening on that in that area. But right now, Bajal, let me quickly tell you weather-wise. If you look at it, it kind of seems cloudy outside. It might burn up. The clouds might burn up by noon, Badujan, because we're going to have sunny skies all the way in the evening. It's not going to be as hot as it was even yesterday, Badujan. So it's going to be in the mid-70s pretty much all day. Now it might be in the 60s, mid-60s, suppose, but it'll go up to mid-70s in the afternoon. Similar kind of weather even tomorrow, Badujan. Saturday again also will have some clouds, but tomorrow actually they say there's got to be sunny skies all through. Not sure. We'll get more information as we get into that for sure, Badujan. Lekin abhi ke liye, that was a traffic update. So, Faltoni, do you have the headlines for our bandus?
Yes, Altu Baba. Do
All
you
right,
just
but-
want the headlines or the news in detail?
Faltoni, you can do it. Up to you. You are the boss.
Well, okay. Would Liz Cheney run to keep Trump from Oval Office? Whatever it takes, she says. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi voices opposition on firms paying ransom after cyber attacks. Top U.S. Fuel pipeline recovering from the devastating ransomware attack. U.S. Homeland Chief touts dramatic efforts to relocate migrant children. Locally, Banajan, a 2-alarm fire is burning at a church in Concord, according to the fire district. Several Bay Area counties are now ready to vaccinate kids aged 12 to 15 years. California governor says the mask mandate will end after June 15th. These were the headlines from across the United States. And right here, locally in the Bay Area, the news in detail will follow shortly after this quick Ganika Kida.
And of course, Bajan, yes, she is right. It's going to start off in a bit, Bajan. And yeah, June 15th tak to hum countdown karne wale hai, because 422nd day of our sheltering in place. When the mask mandate stops, I also will stop counting is what I've decided, to see how many days we actually had to be sheltered in. So again, we still have one more month to be masking and maintaining social distance. Yes, we have reached a critical mass of herd immunity is what they're saying. That doesn't mean that we have actually got rid of the virus. It might be there somewhere lurking around. You got to be careful about that. Make sure you're healthy. Get yourself vaccinated, because as of now, the vaccinations we've been having over here in the US seems to be effective against all the other variants as well. So the virus probably will not have the option to mutate into something else when it comes to you. So Definitely make sure you're taking safety precautions over there. Many families are actually not even sending the kids to schools, but they're having the schools online because of this fear. And soon, even the kids are going to get vaccinated, so probably that's good news for everybody out there. So, anyway, but let me tell you one thing today again. Yesterday, we had already announced it could be Eid, but today also it's going to be Eid, is what they're saying. So, Eid Mubarak to all our bandhus. So what? We can celebrate Eid for 3 days. It's still fine. And I know I got a wonderful song for you guys, Banjan. Lyrics by Adesh Verma. A very nice song. Talking about the person who leads us. I don't know who. Could be Almighty also, Banjan, who leads us through all our difficulties in lives. Calling out to him, the Mere Karwa, the king, the leader of our Karwa. It need not be a person, but it could be the Almighty, right? And right up, Banjan, in the voice of Amit Mishra and Niti Mohan, music by Rochak Kohli from the movie Lucknow Central.
Oh, Bandeya, oh, Bandeya, oh, Bandeya, oh, Bandeya, teri manzile hui gumshuda, phir bhi रास्ता है तेरा मेहरबान ओ मेरे कारवां तेरी राहों पे रवां ये मेरे नसीबों में हो कोई तो दुआ ओ मेरे कारवां ले चल मुझे वहाँ
That's right, Banjan, expecting us our, the Mere Karwa of our lives to take us to a place where the sun will shine again, Banjan. We all have been through a tough time. 2019, the end of 2019 was pretty hard. We heard about the news of the COVID situation. Then 2020 was totally a wash for everybody out there. Even 2021 has not been kind to many of the states, many of the countries in the world, Banjan. And even us, we still are going through it. It's already, the first quarter is finished, but still we're battling this virus, Banjan. People say it's going to be this all the way through the year, and probably we might have a breath of fresh air in hopefully 2022. And yes, Banjan, hoping that we all come out of it, and we're going to go and check out the news right now and see what's happening with the news locally and also nationally, Banjan. Here you go.
Representative Liz Cheney isn't backing down from her criticism of former President Donald Trump even after Wednesday's vote by House Republicans to remove the Wyoming Congresswoman from her party's leadership role as the House Republican Conference Chair, the party's third-ranking position in the House. In today's exclusive interview with Savannah Guthrie, shortly after the vote took place and aired Thursday, Cheney said she would do, quote, whatever it takes, unquote, to prevent Trump from becoming president again when asked if she would consider running herself. He's unfit. He can never again be anywhere close to the Oval Office, she told Savannah. And when Savannah asked her, how far are you willing to take this? Would you run for president? She said, I think that it is the most important issue that we're facing right now as a country, and we're facing a huge array of issues, so he must not ever again be anywhere close to the Oval Office, Cheney replied. I'm going to do everything I can, both to make sure that that never happens, but also to make sure that the Republican Party gets back to substance and policy, unquote. After a 6-day outage, the top U.S. fuel pipeline on Thursday moved some of the first millions of gallons of motor fuels after a crippling cyber attack led to fuel shortages across East Coast states. The Colonial Pipeline, which carries 100 million gallons per day of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel, said on Thursday that it had begun supplying some fuel to most regions along its 5,500-mile route. It will expand to areas including Baltimore by midday, is what the sources said. The pipeline resumed computer-controlled pumping late Wednesday after adding safety measures. The shutdown caused gasoline shortages, and emergency declarations from Virginia to Florida led two refineries to curb production and had airlines reshuffling some of their refueling operations. The U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi said on Thursday that the ransom should not be paid by companies that are the victims of cyber attacks like the one suffered by Colonial Pipeline. We don't want people to think that there is money in it to threaten the security of a critical infrastructure in our country, Pelosi told reporters at her weekly press conference. Bloomberg News reported that Colonial Pipeline nearly paid $5 million to those Eastern European hackers following the cyber attack that shut operations of the largest fuel pipeline network in the United States. Pelosi noted a governance issue in hardening U.S. facilities against attacks. This cannot be open season for hackers who make money off of a threat, even if they don't go as far as crippling the entity as with Colonial, she said. And she referred to this incident as Russian-oriented. We don't know whether it was Putin-oriented, referring to the Russian President Vladimir Putin. The top U.S. Homeland Security official said on Thursday that the Biden administration still faced challenges on the U.S.-Mexico border, but that it had made extraordinary efforts to move unaccompanied migrant children out of crowded border stations. Federal authorities have reduced the number of unaccompanied children in border stations from a peak of 5,700 in late March to under 500 this week. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said in opening remarks at a congressional hearing. Contra Costa County fire crews Thursday morning were battling a 2-alarm fire at a church in Concord. According to the county fire district, the fire was burning at the Christ Community Church of Nazarene at 1650 Ashbury Drive, down the street from Ellis Lake Park in Concord. Officials have asked the public to avoid that particular area. As the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention endorsed the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use in children aged 12 to 15, many Bay Area counties and school districts already have started making preparations to give out those shots. Once the CDC advisory panel finished its review and endorsement of the Pfizer vaccine for that age group, Wednesday, the Western State Safety Review Group later in the day gave the green light for California, Oregon, Nevada, and Washington to start issuing these vaccines. Parents in some parts of the Bay Area have been scrambling to make appointments for their children, while in other areas they may just be showing up for a shot on Thursday morning. California Governor Gavin Newsom said on Tuesday that the nation's most populous state would now stop requiring people to wear masks in almost all circumstances as of June 15, describing a world he said will look a lot like the world we entered into before the pandemic. We're not wearing face coverings. We're not restricted in any way, shape, or form from doing the old things that we used to do, save for huge, large-scale indoor convention events like that, where we use our common sense. California has required people to wear masks in public places since June 18th of last year. Since June 18th, I beg your pardon. The guidance requires people to wear a mask when gathering indoors with people who are not vaccinated. Fully vaccinated people can still meet indoors without wearing a mask. They can also not wear a mask outdoors except when attending large gatherings or sporting events, festivals, and concerts. Those were the news in detail from across the United States and also here locally in the Bay Area. Altu Baba, do you want us to go into the world news headlines, or do you have another iteration of our Gane Ka Kida?
Well, keeping in line with the time, Fazwani, I think we should just get into the headlines. Get into the news of the world. How about that, Fazwani? Because people are waiting for the news anyway. So, a lot of things happening around the world, Belgian. So here you go. This is your news update from all over the world.
Individuals involved in a new eruption of the Israeli-Palestinian bloodshed may be targeted by an international criminal court investigation now underway into alleged war crimes in earlier bouts of the conflict, its top prosecutor said in an interview. The ICC's Farouk Bensouda told Reuters that she would press ahead with her inquiry even without the cooperation of Israel, which accuses her of anti-Semitic bias and like its closest ally, the United States, rejected membership in the treaty-based court, objecting to its jurisdiction. Israel and Palestinian Islamist groups plunged this week into their fiercest round of fighting since 2014, with punishing Israeli airstrikes on Gaza and militants based in the densely populated enclave firing over 1,600 rockets into Israel. At least 83 Palestinians and 7 Israelis have died. There is a really intensified conflict in Gaza with rocket barrages and airstrikes. Palestinian militants fired more rockets into Israel's commercial heartland on Thursday as Israel kept up a punishing bombing campaign in Gaza and massed tanks and troops on the enclave's border. The 4 days of cross-border violence showed no signs of abating, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the campaign will, quote, will take more time, unquote. The violence has also spread to mixed communities of Jews and Arabs in Israel, a new front in the long conflict. Synagogues were attacked and fighting broke out on the streets of some communities, prompting Israel's president to warn of the danger of civil war. Worried that the region's worst hostilities in years could spiral out of control, the United States is sending an envoy, Hadi Amr. Truce efforts by Egypt, Qatar, and of course United Nations have so far offered no sign of progress. You know what, Altu? I'm
Yeah.
surprised you don't have an ABCT about this,
What?
about what's happening in Israel.
What's happening?
I have a conspiracy theory there.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me.
Because again, there was a deadlocked election, right? And the president asked the opposing party to form government. Suddenly, there was an eruption in violence.
Wow.
So Benjamin Netanyahu still stays at the helm. I have a feeling this was incited purely on political reasons, and then of course, obviously, because Palestine responded to it. I don't know. I just have a feeling that that's what's true.
But I totally appreciate the fact that you're walking my footsteps. I'm so proud of it. It's a proud moment for a particular.
It's just a conspiracy theory, okay? But I don't know.
It's fine. It means you are engaging in lateral thinking. That's nice.
Yeah. So we need to, you know, it's really, really sad that so many innocent lives are being lost, and especially, you know, during the month of Ramadan this started, and then, you know, yesterday was Eid, and it's really a lot of people there also are not able to spend their festive season, so to speak,
Yeah.
and celebrate it. In news from India, Banajan, India's most populous state will spend up to $1.36 billion to buy COVID-19 shots and has been holding early talks this week with companies such as Pfizer and the local partner of the maker of Russia's Sputnik 5, a state official said on Thursday. The move by Uttar Pradesh, home to more people than Brazil itself, comes as many Indian states curtail vaccinations due to severe shortages amid a record surge in coronavirus infections, with India recording more than 4,000 deaths for a second straight day as its health system fails to cope. Uttar Pradesh also held pre-bid talks with Indian vaccine companies like the Serum Institute of India, licensed to make the AstraZeneca and Novavax shots, Bharat Biotech, and Cadila Healthcare as part of the global tender to buy 40 million doses over the next few months, state spokesperson Navneet Sehgal told Reuters. India is going to have over 2 billion vaccine doses during August through December, enough for all, according to the center. The center on Thursday said that this was going to be happening and that it would be enough to vaccinate the entire population. The assurance from the center comes as several states are grappling with a shortage of vaccines, which has slowed down the nationwide immunization program. In a media briefing, a Niti Aayog member, V.K. Paul, said that more COVID vaccines will be made available in the near future, besides the ones that are already in use. And now, speaking of vaccines, Manujan, the EU Union Health Ministry on Thursday increased the time gap between the two doses of the Covishield vaccine to 12 to 16 weeks from the earlier 6 to 8 weeks, based on recommendations of an expert panel. Earlier today, the National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization had recommended that the time interval of Covishield doses should be increased, but did not suggest any change for the dosage interval of Covaxin. The decision comes at a time when India is facing a huge shortage of doses of both Covishield and Covaxin, particularly after expanding the immunization drive to include everyone above the age of 18. In some film news, Bandujan, the fans of actor Salman Khan are living up to their resolve to say no to piracy. That's right. Hours after the film's worldwide release, which is the film Radhe, the much anticipated Salman Khan release, the big ticket Bollywood action flick seems to have leaked on various piracy websites. Alert fans of the superstar took to social media to let the actor know about the same and urged him and the Radhe team to take necessary action. It was leaked on websites, and I found a website, a fan wrote, while tagging the lead actor Salman Khan, Disha Patani, and Randeep Hooda. Another shared a screenshot of the film playing on a mobile phone and wrote, Radhe is leaked in an illegal website and on Telegram. So that's the news from Bollywood.
Wow. That's quite a lot of things, Banjan. Of course, Salman Khan, you mean to say he's not going to make his 400 crore or 300 crore, 600 crore in the Radhe?
I don't know, Altubaba. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But it could also be this, that many people are not going into the movie theaters to watch. I have another conspiracy theory for it. So if it becomes a success, people will watch it on the piracy and they'll probably become a success, and they will still make money. Or if they don't make money, still there is the explanation that it was released on piracy websites, so people didn't go to watch.
Yeah, you never know. They would actually made a controlled release of it, right? It's very true, very quite possible, Jan. And right now, a quick look at what's happening in tech world. Was there anything in tech world? Because something about Elon Musk and everything was there in the news some time ago.
With regard to Elon Musk, I'm trying to think.
But wasn't there some news about, we shared it on Good Morning Bay last week, right?
We shared about Elon Musk and the Dogecoin, which he had asked if, and yesterday actually Elon Musk asked if, announced that they're going to be releasing a much improved and a better version of the self-driving software.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Google has won a deal to provide cloud services to Elon Musk's SpaceX, by the way, Altubaba.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which has launched a slew of Starlink satellites to provide high-speed internet, it said on Thursday. SpaceX will set up ground stations within Google's data centers that connect to Starlink satellites, enabling fast and secure internet services via Google Cloud, the search giant said. The service is expected to be available in the second half of 2021 for enterprise customers, the company said. And this deal comes at a time when demand for cloud computing services has soared, with players like Microsoft and Amazon dominating the market. Cloud companies have also tapped into the telecom sector thanks to a jump in demand for 5G connectivity. There is a Reuters analysis that was done, especially with this, that Fortnite, that Epic Games war that's going on.
Yeah.
In its ongoing case against Apple Inc., Fortnite creator Epic Games is counting on this week's testimony from its star expert witness David Evans, a chairman of Global Economics Group, to make its case that Apple is an anti-competitive monopolist over app developers.
Yeah, there was a talk about this. I remember 2 weeks ago, Tim Cook was asked about this on one of those interviews, and he was saying, no, how can it be that way? We actually are in a space where anybody can take over the Apple business. Yeah, there's so much of competition. The app industry is so much of business. I sometimes feel like Apple actually is losing its grip on the market.
You think?
You remember the new thing, the coin thing which they introduced? What is it called?
What is it?
Like the tracking thing device, a small thing. Like a tablet. It looks like a small tablet. When I say tablet, I'm talking about a pill.
Okay, what is that? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that.
You're not familiar with the Apple thing which they launched recently?
Is it like a tracker?
It's like a tracking device, right?
Where you can find your device anywhere. Is that what it is, or a key tracker or something?
Yeah, exactly. The key, not a key tracker. It's actually supposed to track everything and anything of people.
Okay.
Right, that particular device is nothing new. It already was there in the market.
That's true.
I don't know why they had to bring it up as a new launch.
Well, they have to do something, man, because it's Apple launching it, people will buy it, right?
Well, that's the thing, right? I don't think people are bothered. It does not come up as a big thing anyways for them. Anyways, I just felt like the innovation has stopped at Apple right now, unfortunately.
Well, either ways, Apple has called its own experts to rebut Evans's views on the market, but with an added personal twist. It called MIT economist Richard Schmalensky, who has authored numerous books and academic papers, together with Evans. to accuse Evans of contradicting his own prior research. Legal experts said Apple's aim was to chip away at Evans' credibility in the eyes of the judge who will rule on this particular case.
Yeah, what the device I was talking about is called as AirTag.
Oh, AirTags. That's right. That's right.
And nothing new at all. You can get some Chinese model also for it's been in the industry for almost 2 years now, and now they're launching it.
Yeah, speaking of Chinese, right? China's top e-commerce platform, Alibaba.
What happened to
Group
Jack
Holding.
Ma?
I don't know, Alibaba. Alibaba posted its first quarterly operating loss since going public in 2014 due to a record anti-monopoly fine by the country's market regulator.
And of course, Jack Ma missing over there.
Yes. We don't know where Jack Ma is. Where is Jack Ma?
No idea.
Well, don't forget, Bandajan will be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. That's all we had time for on this morning's Good Morning Babe. We will talk to you later tonight. Don't forget to tune in. And in the meanwhile, if you want to listen to some great music and some great programming, download the Radio Dehotis app. Uninterrupted music all day long for you. Have yourselves a terrific Thursday.
है वो किनारे कहाँ
ओ मेरे कारवां तेरे नाम तेरा ये मेरे नसीब.
Hi, this is Farhan Akhtar and you're listening to Radio The Hotties, where the entertainment just keeps getting hotter.